Hey cuties, I'm back with another grocery haul. So this is a healthy grocery haul to help me continue my weight loss. So I wanted to share what I got today, and I have a couple meal ideas to share with you, as always. And I'm probably going to share some of the nutrition facts with you. Probably not on everything, but I'm going to try to do the stuff that you might be interested in. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the frozen stuff so I can just go through it and then put it away. This, again, as I always say, it's a grocery delivery service. So they didn't have a couple of the things, and I think they made one substitution. No big deal. Like I mentioned before, they have really good customer service. So if there's anything that I'm unhappy with, or it doesn't look good, or it's expired, whatever it might be, no questions asked. You just call them up and they give you a refund. Sometimes they even have a special, like on the, I think it's the meat mostly. They'll give you more of what you actually paid for it in the refund. So it's kind of cool. But anyway, let's get started with the yummy stuff. I've never tried this yet, so I've tried others, as you might have seen in previous grocery hauls, but I wanted to try this flavor. And I like the yasso because they have some protein in them. So let me just go tell you what those are, if it'll focus. So it's 100 calories for a bar, 5 grams of protein, and let's see the carbs, the most important thing. So it's 14 net carbs or 15 total carbs. So that'll be a nice little treat at the end of the day. And then I've shown this many times, just something I keep in the freezer. I have one in the freezer still, so I always like to have two, just in case I run out of ideas for like lunch, or sometimes if my husband wants a certain thing for dinner that I don't want, I'll have this. Okay, I've shown the macros on this before, but it's only 200 calories for this, and it's 12 grams of net carbs, 16 total carbs, 23 protein. And like I always say, I don't eat these every day, certainly, and not every week. I know they're higher in sodium, but they taste really good. And in a pinch, it's really good to have something in the freezer you can just grab. I did mention before that it's 2 separate pieces in this box. So one is the steaming of the vegetables and the chicken, and then the sauce sits on the bottom. There's not a lot of sauce. It's not super sweet. That's why the calories are probably so low. But it just tastes good. It's the only one that I really found that I like. So I just keep it on hand. And then we're going to move over. Oops. We're going to move over to a couple more frozen things. I bought some rice cauliflower. I haven't bought this in a while. And the reason I bought it is, for example, instead of having rice with this dinner or frozen dinner, I can have some cauliflower rice or mix this with white rice to kind of bulk it up a little bit. Again, I haven't bought it in a while. I don't know, I feel like having it and giving it another try. I don't love it, but if I mix it with regular rice, it might be really good. Last frozen item is some frozen broccoli. Again, I keep these in the freezer. I will roast these right from frozen, or I'll make like a cauliflower mash, which is really good. So I like to have this in my freezer at all times. This and frozen broccoli, which I have in the freezer right now. So yeah, it's a simple like side to a meal when you don't really know what to have. Okay, I put the freezer stuff all away. So now let's talk about the meat. As you might know, if you've watched many of my grocery haul videos, I like to buy this just about every week. I seem to be able to find new and different things or things we really like to use during the week. This might be a turkey meatloaf, I'm not sure, or maybe chili. Not 100% sure yet, but I have it. I'll stick it in the freezer. It'll be all ready for me. Then over here, I don't buy this very often, but once in a while, I get a taste for beef stew. So I want to make beef stew tomorrow, actually, in the crock pot. And I want to do that because I kind of have a busy day. I want it all to be ready to go when I'm ready to eat. So I just make mine very basic, but I always include Worcestershire sauce, the beef. I will put carrots and potatoes, and that'll just be my higher carb meal for the day. Okay, over here I have 2 packages of chicken breast, the Perdue. These are quite pricey. Unfortunately, I used to love to buy the ones from Costco, the frozen ones that were individually wrapped. It was their brand, but over time, the texture of the chicken breasts were strange, and the breasts got huge, and I didn't like them anymore. They were definitely cost effective, and for a while they were delicious, but not so much anymore. So what I'll do with these is, I'm actually making chicken tonight, so I'll take 2 of these, or maybe 1 if they're big, and I'll split them in half for the dinner. And then my husband can vacuum seal the rest for me, so I have them in the freezer. Essentially the same thing as what you get at Costco. And honestly, I don't even know if they sell those anymore. I feel like they don't. I think they have the chicken tenders and things like that, but I got these this time. And I want to make a boursin chicken tonight. So I might film a cook with me because it's a very simple dinner. I love boursin cheese. It's very, very, very low in carbs. It sounds delicious. It's probably going to be a little high in calories and fat, but it just sounds so good. And I'm going to roast up some green beans, which you'll see when we get to the produce. But I just thought that combination sounded really good. So we're going to give that a try tonight. Okay, I swung over here to the produce. I just have some lemons. Another thing we usually buy at Costco, as you might know if you watch my other videos, that I drink lemon water every day. But we were finding the last time we bought the Costco ones, a couple of them went bad. I didn't drink them fast enough, and I guess we didn't cook as much as we normally do with them. So I just got these, and I saw that they're seedless, which I certainly didn't choose, but how exciting is that? Then over here is just another avocado. Again, hard as a rock, which is fine. I'll put it in a paper bag for a couple days and it'll be all ready to go. And the last 2 avocados I got were so good. I kept 1 in the refrigerator and 1 out on the counter in a paper bag within about 2 or 3 days. It was perfect. And then I took the other one out and did the same thing. Again, perfect. So I'm hoping this one's gonna be just as good. And just some cherry tomatoes and some tri-colored peppers. This is what I was supposed to get last time. And I just like these mostly for my omelets in the morning or my quesadillas. Occasionally I'll use them for dinner, like in a fajita or something like that. Which reminds me, I should make fajitas soon. I love them left over for lunch. They're so good. And then these are the green beans I'm going to roast tonight with the chicken. I'm so glad they had them. It's the smaller bag, so I'll just roast this whole bag for my husband and myself. It's gonna be delicious. Keep it very simple. I'm just spraying it with a little avocado spray, salt and pepper, and it'll be so good next to that boursin chicken because I know that's gonna have a lot of flavor. And just some radishes. I like to buy these once in a while. I usually wind up just putting mostly cucumber and lettuce in my salad. So it's fun just to have a little something else to add. And then the carrots we needed for the household. We like to keep carrots and celery in the house. But these particular ones, some of them, are gonna go in my beef stew. I'm just making a very small batch. And then here's some zucchini. They're fairly small, but I cut them up for my omelets in the morning. I put some in a jar, and then I'll leave 1 to cook up with my Greek meal, if that's what we're having this week. A cucumber. As always, I like the big hothouse cucumbers. This one's so good. It's so crisp. I can feel it. Not a soft spot in sight. So I'm excited about that. And then over here, I just have some curly kale. Again, as I've mentioned before, I'm one of those strange people who likes kale. And my meal idea for this kale is actually an old recipe, and I'm sure I've done it on my YouTube channel before. It's with sausage, kale, onion, and cannellini beans. It sounds like kind of strange maybe, or boring. It is so delicious. Even my husband eats it. And I'll be using regular sausage this time. We just happen to have some in the freezer that a neighbor gave us, a big kind of package that I really want to use. So I'll just make sure I work in the amount of calories, because I'm sure they're high in calories and fat. Thankfully, probably no carbs, but I just work it into my day. On days like that, I don't know if you guys do this, but I'll figure out what calories and fat and carbs my dinner is, and then kind of work backwards to see what I can fit into my day. I used to do that with Weight Watchers. If there was something I wanted to have that was higher in points, I would kind of figure that out first and then see what I had left to kind of divvy it up for the rest of the day. So that's what I'll do when we have that. Okay, and they had my tzatziki again. I'm so happy. I still have a little bit in the fridge, but let me tell you, when they didn't have that for about a month, I was a little crazy. And I know I can make my own. I have a recipe on my channel for it, but this lasts so much longer, and you can just take, 2 tablespoons out and it's not going to go bad so quickly. So that's why I like to keep this on hand. And I know I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. It's only 35 calories for 2 tablespoons. And it's just really, really good, really fresh. It's not too sweet. I found sometimes if I buy tzatziki that's pre-made, it has a strange sweetness to it. So I don't like that. So it has 2 grams of protein and 3 grams of carbs for that 2 tablespoons. So not too bad, and it's delicious. Sometimes I even eat it with my kind of quesadilla in the morning. If I use zucchini, it's such a good flavor profile. And I'll add some oregano to the vegetables and then add the eggs. Really good. And then just a carton of egg whites. I have a little bit left, but I want to make sure I have some more. And then I have some Jell-O, sugar-free Jell-O, or zero sugar, they're calling it. And let me tell you why I got this. A little bit of a story. So sometimes at night, I like to have a salty snack. So I have my protein chips or something like that. And I found that I'll still have calories left, or I'll still want something sweet. So I figured I'd get this, and let's look at the macros on this too. So of course it's 10 calories for the 1 package, 0 carbs. Oh, it actually has 1 protein. Yeah, I think gelatin has protein. It's animal protein, I think. But so I thought this would be good because I wouldn't use that many calories, and I can still have my salty snack if I want. I don't have it every night, and still get a little sweet treat. So that was my idea for that. And then here's the famous boursin. Oh, I'm so excited about this meal tonight. I'm about 99% sure I'm going to film that, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. It's boursin chicken. Not very many ingredients, really simple. But another thing of the cottage cheese that I like. So I'll open this up, I'll put it in a container, and I just use about a tablespoon in my eggs in the morning. It's really good, and it adds just a shot of protein. Makes the eggs a little creamy because I do use egg whites. So yeah, got that. And just some eggs. I mean, we go through a lot of eggs, like I mentioned. So always a dozen and a half. Sometimes we do get the ones from Costco, but I think we have about 3 or 4 eggs left in the refrigerator, so we should be good. Okay, I swung over to the other side of the island, and I did get 2 cans of whole kernel corn. And I just wanted to say why I did that. I don't eat a lot of corn. I went through a phase where I didn't even really like it that much, but I find that the chili, I think, and the taco soup that I make, both call for corn. And I've been really liking it in that. I would never just open a can of corn and have it on the side of my meal. You know, obviously there's starchy carbs, but I just wanted to have it on hand because sometimes I forget to get it. So I want to be able to make that chili either this week or next week if I want to, and I'll have the corn for that. And then I ran out of my favorite prepared dressing, the light wishbone Italian, my favorite. I do make my own dressings like I've mentioned before, but this is my favorite to have for a quick lunch, a quick salad. And it's really low in calories and it tastes good. That's even more important. But it's 35 calories for 2 tablespoons, which I think is really good for a salad dressing. And let's see, 3 carbs and 0 protein. So got that. And then I did buy some dark kidney beans. I love the dark kidney beans when they have them, the Goya brand. So like I said, in case I want to make the chili or the taco soup, I'll have it. I love when I have things on hand and can just decide kind of like that morning what I want to eat. And then I have 2 convenience items. I do make my own beef stew, but I really like these packets. They have really good flavor, probably high in sodium, but I figured for the amount that you put in there, not too bad. So I have that. And I did get the taco seasoning in case, again, I want to make that taco soup. And this was a substitution, I think. They gave me the 25% less sodium, which is fine. I'm sure it'll still taste delicious. And 2 items that I feel like I'm always looking for them and I can never find them in my house. So I just got some garlic powder and onion powder. It's nice to just season things up with that, salt and pepper, and it tastes good and it's easy. So, and then I got some fat-free Ready Whip. I was gonna get the no sugar, but it's actually higher in, I think it was calories. So I can use this on my Jell-O if I want a couple little squirts of that. I also, which I might film that too, I may have even promised this before, but I haven't done it yet. I want to make the protein pudding with the sugar-free chocolate pudding and the protein shake. So if I make that, I can have a little bit of this on there. And for 2 tablespoons, it's 5 calories, 1 carb, and 0 protein. So that'll be fun to have. And here's my last little group of things. So I got the light sour cream. If you know, you know, I always have to have this with my omelets. If I don't have the tzatziki, I mix 2 tablespoons of this with 2 tablespoons of picante sauce, and I dip my little quesadilla in there. So good. And then our favorite tea, I turn my husband on to this now. We've been having tea probably 3 or 4 days a week at around 4-ish or so, 4:30. And I turned him on to this. My friend turned me on to it. This tea is so delicious, so good. It's almost like those red hot candies, which I didn't like as a kid, but in a tea, it's so, so good. So I had to refill that. We actually have none left. And then my good old standby of the Quest protein shakes. And if you know, or if you've seen any of my videos, I'll add this occasionally to 8 ounces of the cold brew. This time I got the blonde roast and the medium roast. I think my husband likes the bold one, but they didn't have that, so I just got one of each of these. And that combination is so delicious. You can also, of course, use like a K-cup and brew it really strong, and then add this over ice. Oh, so good. And very high in protein. Let's check that out. So as you can see, 1 shake is 30 grams of protein, 3 carbs, 1 gram of sugar, and 170 calories. Then I'm trying something new. I mentioned I don't drink coffee every day, like hot coffee, but when I do like to have creamer. And I love the Chobani Italian sweet cream, but I wanted to try their hazelnut. Hazelnut coffee is actually one of my favorite flavors. I've never tried this one before. I don't think I have. So let's see what the macros are on this. It's 35 calories for only 1 tablespoon, like 0 protein and 5 carbs. So yeah, I might have to just only use a tablespoon of that. Ugh. But we'll see. I don't drink it every day. Like I said, I might just have to allow for it for my day and move on. And lastly is a little treat. I haven't gotten these. Actually, I've never gotten these before. I used to eat the regular Kind bars, which are crazy in carbs and calories. But then I went to the mini, which is like 2 bites. They were good, but to me, they weren't really worth the calories. So I stopped buying them for a very long time, but then I noticed they had these in the store. Let's see if I can get it where it's not a glare. Okay. So these are the Kind Thins, and you can see it looks really delicious. 90 calories for this bar. I want to look at the rest of the nutrition facts. So yeah, it's 90 calories for the bar. It's 8 net carbs, which is not too bad, I don't think. And 10 total carbs, of course, and 2 grams of protein. So yeah, a nice little treat once in a while. I do have quite a few protein bars on hand, which I like. The ones that I like, I buy. But just a little treat once in a while. If you're really craving chocolate, this would be good. And I'm going to put these downstairs. I have a storage area in my basement for food. And so it's not staring me in the face every day. I might even forget about it. But yeah, so I put some stuff away already, but that was my grocery haul for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you tried any of my meal ideas. I know the ones I've suggested today, there was only one new one. But stay tuned for that cook with me. I'm definitely going to do that tonight. It just sounds delicious and I want to share it with you all. So have a great night, everyone.